have negative balances on last month's statement that I was given. We are now current, and those are now balanced out to zero. The question is, where did the money transfer from on those two accounts to balance that out to zero?
I believe she comes out of the Title IX monies from fundraising. And that's what she does when the season's over with, and that money comes in and deals up those accounts.
So you take out of our Title IX quality account, which shows, let me stop.
And that equity account allows for the fundraised monies that all sports have, football, basketball, volleyball, etc., to come into one account. Then it's equally distributed to all activities each month.
So all right, sorry to interrupt you on that, but you said that, I'm familiar with the OCR and the non-compliance. You said that OCR agreed with you and we are now compliant, is that what you just said?
Correct.
So we are, as of today, we're 100% compliant with OCR?
Well, we've had another complaint that's been raised, and we are still working through more complaints.
But all of our previous complaints that were brought forward we are on compliance on those, and OCR signed off on them?
Well, if you could be specific with case numbers that you're talking about.
Well, you just said that
I can tell
they
you that.
agreed, and you said that we are compliant. I'm just asking
I
you.
think he's talking
I'm
about
saying
student activity
student
account.
activity
Okay, well,
account.
we're getting off track here.
Yes, so, yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough. So you're saying that we transfer the money out of the Title IX account, which is our quality account, to balance out those negative balances.
Our equity account, it distributes the money to each of the activities so that the students that have fundraised the money can have access to those monies.
Okay, so, and then last meeting, your explanation as to why we had negative balances in those accounts was?
Hadn't been done yet.
Hadn't been done.
What hadn't been done?
The
transfer from our Title IX, that's why those balances are negative?
Yes, because she waits until the season's over was how she proceeds to do that. So I can talk to Dawn this morning. But that's what she does each year, each season. That money is distributed to each of those equally.
So will we continue to have negative balances in our student activity account throughout
Well,
the
she
year?
can start doing it monthly and just look at the balances and each month transfer the monies too, as opposed to the end of the season. So I can talk to Dawn this more about that and get you that information.
That would be nice. Okay. So that answered my question. My next was asked to see if I could see a journal entry on the transfer. So you're telling me that transfer came from our Title IX quality account. So you have a journal
That's my
entry on that?
understanding. Well, she does, yeah, because she does.
Who is she?
Donna.
Donna, which is?
She is the personnel receptionist, and she handles student activity.
For the school?
Mhm.
Donna Hemphill, is that right? So I can ask her that question.
She's
She can
there
show-
first,
She can
yeah.
show me that ledger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. All right.
Stand up for a second, because I want to talk with you and pick your brain. We had a situation a few years back where a couple of our kids went down to another school district and participated in their opening. And there was a complaint filed against that school district by a person, and our school district was noticed, am I correct?
Yes, the person was in this office.
By the school.
Yes. He wrote a complaint saying that, yes, the person was in this office.
By the school.
Yes. He wrote a complaint saying that coaches went down and were coaching, and
We had no coaches
No,
down.
we had-
Oh, I know that story.
We just had
I
a
know.
couple of our kids that
a
went
couple of
down.
our students went down there to play. There was a music concert here. Both gyms were being used, so some of our kids went down there. Over the years, our gym has been open. We've had kids from other schools. We've had to cut it out completely because it's a violation of the high school
So what did
association.
the high school association say to us with regard to our kids being down there?
That they were in violation for letting kids from other schools to come in, and that the only thing that we were in violation of is that our kids shouldn't be down there playing.
I happen to know that's not true, and it's because it was an open gym orchestrated with a bunch of players, and we got in trouble for that, and the MHSA is very clear about that. It didn't have anything to do with us playing in another gym.
You're absolutely
I thought,
wrong.
wasn't there a code?
There's a written document, I've read the documents from that
Mr.
MHSA.
Fairlock
Okay, guys,
and I were
guys,
directly
one at a
involved in
time.
this situation.
My name was mentioned, and I was down there, and I was supervising the music concert here that night.
So, I mean,
So-
the fact of the matter is that we have been in contact with the School Boards Association, and we were given direct instruction by them. And we're going to adhere to that. We do not want our programs getting into trouble because of that. We know what happened down in Corvallis, and we're just like,
And it says 9 through 12, right in the High School Association manual. Where we got confused is it says students, 9 through 12. We thought that that meant any students could go to that gym or our gym to participate. It never said that your students at your school. After we got the interpretation from them, they said that meant students from Florence Carlton High School are the only ones that can attend ours and the ones there. Because I had read that prior to that. And if you read it, it just says students 9 through 12. I thought any students 9 through 12 could go anywhere and play. And it's very common. I called Malta co-ops with 3 other teams in football. Every Wednesday night, those teams come in and play basketball. Since then, they've had to adopt different rules that they can't do that. That's just open gym. They do not want adults in there. They don't want younger kids in there. What High School Association told me is that if somebody gets injured, then you're liable for it. And
So
High
we
School
can't have
Association,
any other kids, so if my son who's graduated now came back to play, couldn't do it?
not in an open gym
So we've
situation.
allowed that in the past, but we learned from it. is
We've
that what you're
learned
saying?
from it.
but we have created like an adult open gym time. So
Every
that
Wednesday night.
Adults in our community have a time they can come down to the school and they can conduct themselves in an adult open gym.
Who created that?
We had a
Correct.
So what you're saying, like you're all about local control, but now you're not, is that kind of, well, I don't understand if the MHSA is, they're not making you have the gym like that, is that correct?
No, the rule is, it says student body. We got fined for the last issue. And MHSA's rules are that they will fine you again, and then if it continues, they will pull your participation from MHSA.
Was that last issue happening in a particular time in the season when basketball kids were not to be able to play together, or is it just, that's just all year?
All year.
Are you sure about
It's,
that?
It is.
You sure about that?
From August 1 on.
Did that incident where that complaint happened, was that during basketball season?
No,
Was it prior to what month?
it's in the, during the football season.
It was during this
When you have
fall.
open gym.
All right, well, I'm sorry for bringing it all up, I just come from something,
Oh, I
anyway, we can
In
get a
fact,
change.
we asked them if we could pull the curtain down in the new gym and have junior high kids on one side and high school kids on the other side, and they said no.
This is not. Couple of things. I grew up where in the Flathead you could go to every gym and play summer ball with everybody, and it was actually you couldn't play. So I just didn't quite buy what Mr. Verlacher had told me when my kid was in 8th grade, so I called MHA. One, I got a little chewed out for calling directly that I should be trusteeing my superintendent, or not my superintendent, but my athletic director, and that if there was a problem with that, that I should be, making a formal complaint. And what I found out is just what was expressed here, is that you can't do that. It's the law of the land. If we want to jeopardize our athletic program, go for it. I also was a little concerned why my 8th grader couldn't play in open gym. I got the same answer. Well, if he doesn't want to qualify, it will hurt his eligibility when he's in high school, if he does. So if you would like to verify my conversation, you're more than welcome. My other question is, I am really tired of coming to these board meetings and the public being so disruptive. I've never been to public meetings where people can just shout out from the public and be acknowledged. I mean, you guys have important business to do here, and at some level, you bring it on yourselves because you allow it.
We're
I would
trying,
be-
thanks for that.
I would be booting these people out.
That we're discussing, does it have to be agreed by all board members?
No, only
It does.
majority of the board members when we vote.
Thank you.
I just looked at the MHSA rule, and it says open gym is open to any youngster that's interested in attending.
Student body though, it does, if you look under the
Under-
rules, there's
okay.
sub-rules, and it
There's
says
so
student
there's a
body.
whole bunch of them. All right,
Okay,
my bad.
all right,
All right,
so
let's close.
we're
I'm
done,
sorry.
we're done with that, okay? All right, so, we are then at, we're on to septic system construction. Mr. McGee.
Okay, currently the septic system is moving along. You might have noticed that there was.
All right, thank you very much. So this last item, we, school board calendar ideas.
There's
We-
discussion on that?
Nope, no discussion. Because there's no discussion because there's no vote here.
Right,
This
well,
is
this is about
information-
taxpayer money, and I
I'm
do believe
sorry,
there's
there's
a law on
not
that.
going to be any discussion. There is, public is allowed to comment on, after there's a motion to do something. There is no motion to do anything here.
So with respect to taxpayer money on a big
I'm
job
sorry.
like this, when would I address questions in
You'd have to
public?
come to the next board meeting and talk in public comment.
You don't answer questions in public comment.
I know we don't, so, I'm sorry, but we're not having any public comment or discussion now. We're going on to the next part of the meeting.
Trustees ask questions?
No, we're going on to the next part of the meeting, okay? All right, so, this last item, we discussed at the last meeting, and we approved the idea of developing a board calendar. And so, Mr. McGee and Ms. Morgan and I are gonna do that. I just, again, wanna ask everybody if they have something specific that they think should be on that. Please get in touch with one of the three of us, because we're gonna start developing that calendar.
I couldn't find mine, I don't know if you have a copy or.
Um,
But I have this one.
Yeah, she has an
Oh,
old one.
that's the one.
Yeah, she has that old one.
Yeah, that's the one I
So-
have.
So we're going to incorporate that.
Yeah, that's got all the
Yeah.
good stuff in it.
Yeah, so, we'll be setting a, just kind of an informal pencil, paper session to get that started, and then we'll bring it back to the board. So, thank you very much,
Can
meeting
we-
adjourned,
is that an information only, can I make a comment?
information only.
It says here, move to adopt a master survey to requires an action.
We already did it last meeting, and we just approved the last meeting minutes, so we did it last meeting, so.